Did you see that monster's flip? It's like a circus act, gone wild. How are you planning to dodge those moves?
I don't know what the heck game that is. Let's delete that. Yeah. Turn that down a little bit. Hello, Wilhelm. How you doing? Kind of see my feet for the new model. Let me bring it down a little bit further. So this is the new model, at least. See how it all plays out. Let's see. Proceed. Yeah, I can move around and bob side to side. Of course, you know, even before I started the stream, like, oh, I did not know I had a limit for tags for Twitch. Gotcha. Because I literally was like, oh, yeah, there was an error because you have too many tags. I'm like, oh. Okay, cool. So yeah, so this is the new model. You can probably tell it's not as detailed. So for some reason, I think I goofed with it saying I'm playing a game, but oh well. No one's perfect. It's probably when I made the error and went back to the settings. So this new model, I got on Fiverr. Yeah, minor technicality, but you know. I'll live. Alright, let's see. Let me bring this up. So yeah, this is the new model. I think you have to do more tweaks with the eyes, but and essentially I have at least 3 toggles. My angry face or upset face. I'm mad about something. Don't know what. And then had to have like a blush toggle. Oh. Maybe one eye's kind of tweaking out. I can combine different things, but and then oh, I am not doing so well. Let me try something real quick. Settings. I think that fixed it a little bit. Live and learn, live and learn. Or it just might be my eye in general, but I don't know. So this is my debut stream, you know. See how it plays out as far as this goes. Let's see. Let me move myself over here some. So background time. There are those who live in a single world, and then there are those who wander. I'm something in between, an existence untethered by time, forever caught at the age of 21. Walking the thin line between realities, stories are the threads that bind these worlds together. And I have made it my purpose to follow them wherever they lead. From war-torn battlefields and sprawling fantasy realms to quiet, fleeting moments of everyday life. I've seen countless tales unfold, and I'm still searching for more. Anime was where it began. Windows into other lives, other possibilities, each genre, each story, another fragment of understanding. Some were loud and some chaotic, others soft and lingering, but all of them left their mark. Over time, those stories became more than just something to watch, they became something to chase. Quite literally. Because, you know, like, every anime has their own story to tell, so. For better or worse. And then, of course, games. Games opened the door wider. Through them, I didn't just win the stories, I lived them. From the pixelated echoes of older worlds to the vast, ever-expanding landscapes of the present. I've taken on countless roles, made impossible choices, and carved paths through narratives that shift and react. Strategy, action, chaos, it all has its place, but it's the weight of the story that connects the journey that keeps pulling me forward. Hey, Cassie. Welcome. My eyes are still kind of tweaking out. That or I need to change the angle of the camera. Also possible. Or it might be just be looking at the different windows like, oh. Thank you. Because it kind of, I feel like how it kind of moves a lot more and it's more animated. And like goes different expressions. I can be angry, mad, embarrassed. Or scared. Let's see. Now I stand here between worlds, between stories, not just as a traveler, but as a guide. Every stream is another step into the unknown, another story waiting to unfold, and whether it's through games, conversation, or the unexpected moments in between. You're not just watching, you're part of it. So stay a while. After all, every good story is better when it's shared. I mean, that applies to like so many different things nowadays. We all have stories we can tell or share, for better or worse. But you know, that's what makes life living. My hobbies. Stories that what draws me in no matter the world. I spent years wandering through countless anime, from high stakes battles and epic fantasy to quieter slice of life moments that linger long after the credits roll. Every genre has something to offer, and I've made it a point to experience as many of them as I can. Let's see. If there's a story worth telling, I want to see it unfold. Games are no different. I've traveled from the pixelated echoes of retro classics to the vast immersive worlds of today. While I enjoy the challenge, the strategy, and even a bit of chaos, what truly keeps me playing are the stories, the characters, and the moments that stay with you longer after you put the controller down. So if you're someone who appreciates a good narrative, a memorable journey, or just getting lost in another word for a while, you're in the right place. Because I've said this many times, I like a good story, a good narrative, good character building. Now, one of the topics is collabs I chose as far as on my debut stream. You know, I welcome the thought of traveling alongside other adventurers, but such bonds aren't forged in haste. The right companions reveal themselves in time, when our paths align and our stories resonate. When that moment comes, the party will form naturally, and the journey will be all the stronger for it. So, you know, like, if I meet the right people, I'll definitely collab. You know, one thing I'll probably love to do is, like, you see all these, like, D&D stuff that people do. Or just simply, like, playing the Repo or other multiplayer games. Because I always feel like multiplayer games are kind of fun when you play with people you know and befriend. That's my line of thought, at least, you know. I don't want to just like collab just to collab. That'd be kind of petty. And of course, you guys know I stream on Arium. And know I will have my issues with Arium. But, you know, maybe someday I'll fix those issues. But till then, I just stream at least for half an hour. Well, I should say now max an hour. Because otherwise, if I do more, it'll be kind of... I need prep time for my game before my gaming starts. Yeah, Arium. Very worse. But yeah, so my schedule for gaming, yeah, priorities. Because I'm Arium, I can still like concentrate on, you know, I think that's the issue. I can concentrate on, you know, chatting and just not more so the gaming aspect. But yeah, so my weekly schedule, Mondays be real-time strategy gaming, so that's like StarCraft, um, Old Warcraft, you know, Supreme Commander. Those are just to name a few at least offhand of, you know, real-time strategy type games. Age of Empires. That's another one. There's just too many to get really like say them all, but got quite a few. And the Tuesday apocalyptic game, I call it that, but it's mostly be my Fallout gaming. But I do have like other like post-apocalyptic type games too, so. But you know, we all think about the world ending, the world ending. You know, that's my outlook on that. Of course, Wednesday's day of rest, because I don't want to burn myself out. I do enough of Irium already each day for that. And then Thursday, choose your fate gaming. You know, there's so many games where you kind of like, all right, be the bad guy, be the good guy. Decide what choice you want to choose. So that's why I kind of like choose your fate. So like, you know, you got like the Telltale games. You also go like Fable. Just any game that you make decisions that affect things later on. And Friday, classic / retro gaming. Right now, mostly will be going off, you know, my PC library, but as some of you know, I do have a lot of the old consoles and stuff like that. I just got get additional equipment for that to stream it. All these equipment that works. But, you know, slowly getting there. And then Saturdays will be horror night gaming. So if you don't like horror, you don't have to tune in that night. Because there'll be jump scares and stuff like that. I'll be playing like a classic horror game at first. So, you know. Though I had to be like, all right, well, I can't play the console version. Let me buy the PC version just for this. And then Sundays will be chill gaming. So those are the days that'll also be kind of this chatting and just like playing a game that's just like relaxing, like Power Washer or stuff like that. You're just chill, relaxing, mind-numbing games that don't require any too much thought process to do. Let's see. And of course, all my gaming streams will be at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern. I don't have a certain length for the gaming, but I probably say 2 hours max. Just because, you know, other obligations. That's my mindset, at least. So for the first game I'm gonna be playing on Monday is StarCraft Remastered. I used to play the original StarCraft all the time, you know, custom maps and stuff like that online. And like, there was this one like custom map that I used to play was like a World War II map of the world. And like, I mean, there was also like a Lord of the Rings version where if you know, attack it would begin like that. Let's see. Yeah, I just remember loving that game. So I'm like, yeah, it's a good real-time strategy game to start with. And Tuesday, Fallout 76. I don't know who watches it or who still plays it, but you know, I'm a devout Fallout fan. The lore, wanted to explore. Spent so much funding on that game. Probably one of the original players from when it first came out. Like, probably the first game. Let me show you things I own. Because, you know, that's exactly what I wanted to show. Just how much time and money I spent on that game. It's my personal addiction. Though, I think I've said this before, like, if they come out with the remasters of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna be binge playing that. Because, you know, I just say I prefer Fallout. Let's see. Day rest. I will be sleeping. I'll be relaxing, chilling. Though I will still be on like Arium for at least half an hour. But other than that, be off the air. Choose your fate gaming after Fable 3. Because it's the newest ones of the Fables games. And that's a perfect example of choose evil, choose good. Make your own decision. But that's half the fun of it. Alright, let's see. Now, classic gaming or retro gaming, I decided to do the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's not really, I don't know if it's still considered classic or really retro. I did play the original Mass Effect games, so I'm like, well, it's kind of like a remaster, so. I figured that's a good game to play. Saturday night, my first game, Fear, First Encounter Assault Recon. That game was probably the first one that really kind of like gave me a jump scare. Unless you count like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the original one. Because when Nemesis busted the walls, you're like the Kool-Aid man. Busted the wall. You just like, could hear him saying like the Kool-Aid slogan, like, what would he say? Oh yeah. But yeah, you always bust the walls. But Fear like made me paranoid type fear. Let me see something. If I make myself a little bit bigger. But yeah, I figured that's a good horror game. I kind of said this before, like, it's kind of some of the days like, all right, well, The Walking Dead's choose your own fate, but it's also a horror game, so I have to like balance between the twos, you know. And someday I'll be playing Power Wash or two. I'm mostly picking up where I left off with that game because there's still so much to clean. So I also thought about playing a different game, but I was like, that might be more of a collab type game, but because there's sort of someone that I would play with, even if they didn't chat. But it's kind of like definitely a collab game that I would enjoy, called Goblin Cleanup. But you know, we'll see. Future goals, anime watch party. Like you have to figure out the necessities of it, but I would love to like watch some old anime with everybody. You know, animes that you won't really see other people watching, but they do exist. Better equipment to indulge my more retro gaming. So like I mentioned this during my pre-debut on Arium. I was like, oh yeah. I need better equipment to actually stream some of these old consoles. Though I also need to repair some consoles, I think. Blow the dust out of them and such. I already mentioned collabs, but something I would also kind of enjoy. That's kind of like the rough summary of it. Hang on. Let me bring this up. Select. There we go. Of course, this is my little library. Excuse the clutter. I might be a tad disorganized, but you know. And thanks for the comfort of my office, my library. But yeah, so overall, I'm definitely looking forward to like seeing how things play out and learning from this debut stream of what to do and what not to do. Because apparently if I go back to my streamer settings, it defaults to what I said to the last two, so thank you. I do feel I need to tweak my eyes some. That or I'm just worn out from the day. Hard to say. But yeah, I hope like, you know, I think it was it you, Wilhelm, that said like, or no, I can't remember. Someone make a list of your video games. You could always do like a roulette thing for, you know, playing video games, and like that might take a bit of work. Just because like, yeah. I feel like It wouldn't be a roulette. It would be kind of like I would have to like do a random number generator and just like number everything on a list. Like, all right, I randomized the titles, and now we just do a random number pick. Because, like, PC alone, it's like, alright, I have 1,500 plus games. I love when people ask me, like, hey, you played all those video games? I'm like, no. That, no, I definitely have not played all those video games.
Hey, Akihana! Thanks for jumping on this wild ride. Your follows like a confetti cannon at a party. Let's have some fun together.
Thank you for following, Akihana. I really need to tweak that apparently as well. But streaming, would that be like right there? See how that plays out. Because I'm also kind of still learning stream elements, so, or stream labs, what you want to call it. Like, oh. So I think I hit a lot of that type stuff. At least for the debut stream. Yeah, I have to tweak that some. But yeah, so I've definitely planned all sorts of future projects. And I said, yeah, my first day testing the waters. I already saw like, oh, it defaulted to me streaming Maid of the Dead and Otaku Steals Adventure Begins. I'm like, well, that was a test thing I did some time ago. I'm like, oh, well. Yeah, I have like a co-host thing that lets me know that like, hey, this person did this, or hey, thank you for doing this. But trust me, it could have been creepier because like the co-host was not anime, or they didn't have like an anime version. They just had like a 3D model of it. I'm like, I'll just leave them as invisible. Maybe if I get like a little my own model for the co-host or something, but but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to continuing and start streaming video games and gaming commentary, and probably do some tweaking, especially after I stream my first game tomorrow. Because that's kind of like, I'm going to wait till then to start making tweaks, because I know what breaks or what doesn't break during my gaming. Then I can adjust. That's why my mindset is fixing that. But yeah, so probably stop here for now. But I should be back tomorrow with my gaming stream, which will be a lot longer. everyone do enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you for attending. Safe journey.